Okay, so number 11, we're going to get into the main idea for this video, and that's PowerShell core. The reason why I thought this would make a good video, because if you run this command, this command pulls a Windows image if Windows container type is selected. Okay, and then the tricky part is the same command pulls a Linux image if Linux container type is selected. Okay, which that's the cool part. It's a Linux container, a Linux operating system, but we're going to run PowerShell on that Linux container. Okay, so this Windows container type, that's this here. See here, currently we have Linux containers selected. Okay, if we switch that to Windows containers, see, now we're using Windows container. So we're using Windows container. It will download an image with Server Core, Microsoft Server Core, and have PowerShell installed. Okay, so currently we're in Windows containers. We're using Windows containers. Let's see what images we have. We have one Hello World image. Okay, so following my notes here, first let's run the image without the IT switch. Okay, there's no IT switch here. See, down here we have an IT switch. Okay, we have Windows container type selected. Next we'll pull the image. Okay, so I downloaded it previously, so it didn't take very long. So we have the image downloaded. If we go back to Docker images, we can see now we have this image in our repository. Okay, next, number 13. Before we actually run it down here, I want to show you something else here. Here we run the image with no IT switch. Down here when we run it, we use an IT switch. The IT switch is very common. Okay, so let's run this and I'll explain why I wanted to show you this. Let's clear the screen. We'll run it. Okay, so we ran the command with no IT switch. It created the container, completed what it was supposed to do, put up a PowerShell prompt, and then return us back to the C prompt. See, that's your prompt. That's the same as the prompt that we had up here. Okay, now that's cool, right? But we want a PowerShell prompt inside the container so we can run PowerShell commands, right? So that's where the IT switch comes in. if we run this command, see, this one has a IT switch, -IT. See, now this time it created the container and kept a command line open to the container and gave us a PowerShell prompt. You can tell it's a PowerShell prompt because of the PS. Okay. In my Udemy course, I explain the IT switch in more detail. It's kind of a tough topic, but the only thing you really have to worry about is you use IT to keep a window open into the container. Okay, so just to show you, see here we're using Windows container type. So up here we're using Windows container type, right? But by looking at this, how do we know? You know, it just gave us a PowerShell prompt. We don't really know what it's doing, right? Well, if we run this PowerShell command, you can see here the OS type is Windows. Okay. PowerShell Edition Core. And just as a brief introduction to PowerShell, PowerShell is based on commands, pre-written commands that we can use. Of course, you can write your own, but there's a pre-written command for just about everything that you might need to do. These PowerShell commands are called commandlets, and you'll see them written as commandlet. Okay, PowerShell prompt looks like that. That's this here. That's your prompt. Yours may be different. The administrator that sets up the computer can always change the prompt to be anything, but that's the standard PowerShell prompt. And from here we can run some basic commands. If you're familiar with basic DOS commands and things like that, I typed in let's see here, I typed in the pwd command. Let me change the colors here. Okay, so I changed the colors so we'd be able to see the commands. If I type in a pwd command, it shows our path. dir for directory shows the files in the directory. ls command, same thing. We can cd into the users folder. Do an ls. Here's our users inside of our container. We can say, who am I? We can get help on a command. Get help. Okay, so I'm running through these pretty quick. PowerShell help system displays help about PowerShell commandlets. We can say get command. Now this shows us the commands that are available to us. And you can see there's quite a few. But this is PowerShell Core. It doesn't have all of the PowerShell commands, but you can see there's still quite a few of them. Okay. CLS. We can search the commands. Okay, so this says get commands that start with GET and a dash, and the star means anything else. If you're familiar with Linux and Unix, you should understand that search feature. So there's all the commands that start with get. These are just a few examples to help get you going. Same thing here, get command, show me the commands that start with set and anything else. Quite a few of them. Same with new and out. We can get detailed help on a command. So here we're saying get help on the get command and show me the details, dash detailed. So this would be like a man page for the command. Unix commands have man pages, right? You can go out on the web and search for man pages. Here's one, get process. Show me some examples. So here we're saying get help on the get process commandlet and show me some examples. How do I use it? So you can see for this command, those help files are not available. So let's do it with get command. Okay. So the examples aren't installed in Core, or at least for those two commands. Okay, so next we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to switch to the Linux container type. Okay, so we'll go over here